The morning routine. It is supposed to be the most comforting part of your day. You wake up, maybe grab the newspaper or listen to the radio. You pour a cup of coffee. And then you reach for that specific, familiar breakfast item. It is fast. It is easy. You have eaten it nearly every day for decades. But what if I told you that this one simple habit, done almost without thinking, is now identified by leading neuroscientists as a critical factor fueling your daily memory loss? This is not about weight gain. This is not about cholesterol. This is about your brain cells. It is about the frustrating moment you walk into a room and forget why you went there. It is about the strain of reaching for a name you know perfectly well, only to find the word is simply gone. That brain fog, that slow slip. Doctors are now issuing urgent warnings about one extremely common type of food that, when consumed before noon, actively accelerates the aging of your brain. If you are 60 or older and you rely on convenience in the morning, you must listen closely. For too long, we were told this food was acceptable, maybe even a healthy option. We were told it provided energy. We were told it was good for the heart. We now understand the profound, immediate damage it inflicts on your cognitive function every single time you eat it. The issue lies in how this specific food type interacts with your body's most sensitive system, your blood sugar response. Think of your brain as a magnificent, complex city. It runs on a steady flow of resources. It needs smooth, consistent energy delivered through the streets, which are your blood vessels. When you consume this one specific breakfast item, you are not giving your brain a steady, even flow of energy. You are unleashing a massive, uncontrolled flood. This is the hidden culprit behind that mid-morning cognitive crash. It is the reason you feel sharp right when you wake up, only to find yourself struggling to focus an hour or two later. Your brain is overwhelmed. When you start your day with this hidden memory robber, your body is forced to release a massive surge of insulin. This is your body's frantic attempt to manage the sudden, unnatural sugar spike this food creates. Why is this so dangerous specifically for those over 60? As we age, our cells become naturally less sensitive to insulin. This means the spike caused by this specific food has a much more catastrophic and long-lasting effect on us than it did when we were younger. This rapid, uncontrolled energy rush leads to immediate brain inflammation. Inflammation is the silent enemy of memory. It damages the tiny connections between your neurons. It makes it harder for your brain cells to communicate effectively. It is literally rusting the delicate machinery responsible for your sharp recall. We are talking about a food that is found in nearly every senior's pantry right now. Maybe you think it is healthy because of its texture. Maybe you think it is innocent because it seems plain. But the way it has been processed and refined strips it of any nutritional benefit and turns it into a high-octane inflammation bomb designed to target your brain. We call this group of foods the quick morning carb loaders. They feel safe. They feel traditional. But they are engineered to break down almost instantly into simple sugar, bypassing your body's natural protection mechanisms. It is the food you rush to prepare because it takes less than 5 minutes. It sits in a box, often marketed with healthy-sounding labels. Consider your morning routine. Did you pour something into a bowl today? Did you toast something? Did you tear open a quick wrapper? If your breakfast was white, refined, or promises rapid energy, you are likely participating in this memory loss cycle. The doctor's warning is clear. If you eat this food before noon, you are setting your brain up for failure, not just today, but structurally over the long term. This constant inflammatory stress, triggered daily by your innocent breakfast choice, is directly linked to higher rates of cognitive decline later in life. It is time to stop this mistake. It is time to protect your memory from this common breakfast trap. In the next part of this critical discussion, we will reveal the specific, boxed and bagged foods that fall into this dangerous category. We will look past the marketing hype and expose the ingredients that are actively slowing down your mind. But before we dive into the specific foods, let's talk about the specific ingredient that makes this food so devastating. Bridge to part 2. You are now seeing the mechanism at work. You see how easily that common food, that daily ritual you rely on before noon, transforms from a comforting habit into a biochemical problem. We must understand the physical stress you are putting on your brain every time you consume this specific type of refined carbohydrate or sugar early in the morning. It is not just about calories, and it is not just about weight gain. This is an immediate, targeted attack on your cognitive health. When you eat this food, whether it's the sweetened cereal, the processed toast, or the waffle drowned in syrup, your body reacts violently. Your blood glucose levels shoot up almost instantly. Imagine your bloodstream is a quiet, calm river. This breakfast choice is like dumping a heavy, sticky dam of sugar directly into that river. Your pancreas panics. It races to produce massive amounts of insulin to try and clear the flood of glucose. This is the sugar spike. But the immediate damage happens in the nervous system. This rapid, excessive spike triggers a wave of inflammation throughout your entire body. Inflammation is the silent enemy of the senior brain. Doctors call it gliosis. It's essentially the activation of immune cells in your brain, causing swelling and internal stress. Think of it like a sticky, relentless fire that starts in your gut and spreads directly to the most sensitive parts of your brain. This fire doesn't burn your skin. It burns your ability to think clearly. And where does this fire focus its damage? Right in the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the primary center for memory formation and retrieval. It is the librarian of your brain, responsible for sorting new information and finding old facts. When the hippocampus is constantly inflamed, it cannot do its job efficiently. This is why you find yourself walking into a room and instantly forgetting why you entered. This is why a name that was on the tip of your tongue moments ago completely vanishes. It is why you struggle to follow the thread of a complex story or worry that you are repeating yourself during conversations. These are not harmless signs of aging. These are indicators of chronic inflammation in your memory center, driven by what you are eating before noon. But the damage doesn't stop with the immediate sugar spike. Over decades of this morning routine, your cells, tired of the constant insulin flood, start to put up defenses. They resist the insulin signal. This is insulin resistance. And it is the next terrifying stage of cognitive decline linked to this common breakfast food. Insulin is crucial because it acts as the key that unlocks your cells, allowing them to absorb glucose for energy. Your brain needs stable energy more than any other organ. When your brain cells become insulin resistant, they effectively starve. They are surrounded by fuel, but they cannot access it. This lack of stable energy disrupts the communication between your neurons. The messages get garbled, slow down, or stop entirely. This is precisely why leading neurologists are now referring to certain forms of Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes. The mechanism is identical. Insulin resistance leading to cellular starvation and cognitive failure. If you are 60 or older and you habitually eat this high glycemic food before noon, you are creating an environment where brain health is simply unsustainable. You are actively starving the memory centers while simultaneously fueling the inflammatory fire. You are robbing your brain of the stable, clean energy it requires to tackle the day's challenges. The brain fog that hits you around 10:30 or 11 a.m., the sudden fatigue, the irritability, the struggle to focus on paperwork or driving, that is not a coffee deficiency. That is the crash after the morning sugar high, leaving your brain hungry, inflamed, and desperate for stable nutrition. You need to switch your breakfast priorities entirely. You need to transition from foods that cause memory degradation to foods that actively build up your brain's defenses. But simply cutting out the bad food is only half the battle. If you replace that common item with an equally bad alternative, you solve nothing. We need to reverse this cycle. We need to lower inflammation, stabilize glucose, and provide the brain with the raw materials it needs to repair itself and rebuild those neural communication lines. In Part 3, we will move past the warning and focus intensely on the solution. We will identify the specific, easily accessible brain shield nutrients that doctors are now recommending seniors consume every single morning to drastically reduce inflammation and immediately halt the cycle of memory loss and brain fog. We will show you exactly what to eat instead, starting tomorrow. We have covered the initial alarm. We know this common breakfast choice sends your blood sugar soaring. But how exactly does this simple bowl or slice attack your actual memory centers? The damage goes deeper than just a temporary sugar high and crash. Think of your brain like a city full of delicate roads and bridges. These roads carry vital information and memories. When you consistently flood your system with rapidly digested carbohydrates before noon, you initiate a process called glycation. This is critical. Listen closely. Glycation is when excess glucose, sugar, sticks to proteins and fats in your body. It creates harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. The name itself sounds damaging, doesn't it? These AGEs are essentially sticky, toxic residue. They gum up the pathways of your brain. They cause inflammation. They disrupt communication between your brain cells. They are the true culprits behind what doctors now often call chronic brain fog. When AGEs build up year after year, especially from that daily morning ritual, they impede your brain's ability to store new memories or retrieve old ones reliably. Your memory doesn't just spontaneously fail. It's slowly strangled by years of sugar stress. That moment when you walk into a room and forget why you went there. That difficulty recalling a name you know perfectly well. That is often neuroinflammation manifesting. It's a traffic jam caused by sticky glucose residue. When you eat this refined food, you are literally stressing your brain before your day even begins. Now, let's talk about the energy disaster this morning routine creates. You might feel a huge rush of energy at 8 a.m. after that sweet or starchy morning meal. That's the spike. But by 10:30 a.m. or 11 a.m., where are you? You feel drained. You feel mentally slow. You crave another quick fix, maybe a sugary coffee or a pastry. This sharp drop in blood sugar is devastating for cognitive function. Your brain needs stable, consistent fuel to perform high-level tasks like decision-making, focus, and memory retrieval. When your blood sugar roller coasters, your brain doesn't just get sleepy, it panics. It struggles to focus because it's dealing with an energy emergency. This continuous morning slump, day after day, trains your brain to function poorly for half the day. It reinforces the cycle of memory frustration. The good news is that reversing this cycle can start tomorrow morning. The key to stopping the morning damage is to replace that fast-burning, refined fuel with fuel that burns slowly and steadily all day long. We must stabilize blood sugar before noon. This means shifting your focus away from simple carbohydrates and towards healthy fats and high-quality protein. Protein and fats digest slowly. They keep you full longer. Crucially, they do not cause the massive insulin spike that leads to glycation and the subsequent energy crash. They feed your brain clean, steady energy, not the volatile, damaging spikes. So, what does this look like in practice? If you are currently reaching for a bowl of cereal, a bagel, or heavily processed toast, you must make a swap. Instead of toast, consider scrambled eggs cooked in olive oil or butter. This is a powerful shift toward protein and healthy fat. Instead of a sugary muffin, try a full-fat Greek yogurt with a small handful of berries and some seeds like flax or chia. These alternatives are not complicated. They are simple, real foods designed to protect your brain. Starting your day with clean, stable fuel immediately reduces neuroinflammation. It prevents the formation of those sticky AGEs. It ensures your memory pathways stay clear. We know that changing a lifelong habit, that morning routine you've relied on for decades, can feel daunting. It requires discipline and a commitment to protecting your future memory. You might face resistance. Your family might ask why you stopped eating the old favorite. You might miss the convenience. In the final part of this series, we will address that resistance head-on. We will give you the exact doctor-recommended plan to transition away from this harmful food. We will reveal the specific, step-by-step 7-day morning ritual that guarantees brain-stable energy and clears the path for better focus and memory retention. Don't miss the details on how to make this change permanent, starting next week. Stick with us for Part 4. We have identified the metabolic traps hiding in plain sight. We understand the inflammation they cause. We know this damage is not normal aging. It is a reaction to chronic metabolic chaos. But we have not yet named the silent killer that doctors are warning about right now. the one specific item that seniors often rely on for a quick, comforting start to the day. This food creates the fastest, steepest blood sugar spike of all the common breakfast staples. If you eat this food before noon, you are guaranteeing a rapid cycle of glucose flooding and subsequent crash. This crash starves your brain cells. It leaves them scrambling for energy, creating the brain fog and the moments of forgetfulness you fear most. It is time for the final reveal. The common food doctors warn you must stop eating before noon is anything based on highly refined, low-fiber starches and grains. But specifically, the worst offenders are certain types of processed breakfast cereals, quick-cooking oatmeal, and anything derived from white flour, like certain commercial muffins or breakfast biscuits. You might be thinking, wait, oatmeal? I thought that was heart healthy. This is the deception. When grains are highly processed and stripped of their fiber and natural structure, your body treats them exactly like sugar. The term is instant. Instant means quick digestion. Quick digestion means instant glucose rush. Consider instant oatmeal. It is marketed as fiber-rich and wholesome, but those flakes are pre-cooked and rolled thin. When you mix them with hot water, there's almost no barrier left to slow down digestion. That bowl of instant oats, or those seemingly harmless cornflakes, hit your bloodstream faster than a candy bar. Why does timing matter so much? Why is eating this food before noon so damaging? The first hours of the day are critical for metabolic stability. Your body is naturally preparing itself. Cortisol levels, your wake-up hormones, are high. When you flood a system already under hormonal stress with pure glucose, the insulin spike required to control it is massive. This massive spike creates two critical problems for your brain. First, your cells become numb to insulin signal. This is insulin resistance. It means glucose builds up in your blood instead of feeding your cells. This excess glucose damages the very tiny blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to your memory centers. Second, the crash that follows the high is debilitating. An hour after consuming that spike, your blood sugar plummets. Your brain, which relies solely on a steady supply of glucose, enters an emergency state. You experience confusion, irritability, fatigue, and the inability to retrieve memories. You feel fuzzy, you feel tired, you chalk it up to age. But it is just a sugar crash damaging your circuits. If you have been struggling with a daily bout of brain fog that hits around 10:30 or 11 a.m., the cause is 90% likely that highly refined grain you ate 2 hours earlier. So, how do we fix this? How do we build an effective memory shield protocol that stabilizes your brain energy for the entire day? You do not need complicated diets. You need a simple, targeted swap. This is the 3-step memory shield protocol recommended by nutritional neuroscientists for people over 60. Step 1. The complete ban. First, you must completely eliminate the refined carbohydrate breakfast. No instant oatmeal, no sugary cereals, no white toast, no bagels, and no commercial breakfast pastries. This is non-negotiable for cognitive clarity. The memory benefits you gain from stopping this single item far outweigh the comfort of the routine. Step 2. Protein priority. Your new morning motto is protein first. Your body needs protein to repair, maintain muscle, and most critically, stabilize blood sugar. Protein digests slowly and requires very little insulin. You must aim for at least 30 grams of high-quality protein within an hour of waking up. Think 3 scrambled eggs. Think a large serving of Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, or a protein powder mixed with water or unsweetened almond milk. When you start your day with protein, you set a low, steady curve for blood sugar. This prevents the roller coaster that triggers brain fog. You feel full, energized, and clear for hours. Step 3. Add healthy fat and fiber. Once your protein base is established, you buffer it further with healthy fats and slow-release fiber. Healthy fats, like half an avocado or a handful of walnuts, are pure, long-burning fuel for your brain. They slow down stomach emptying and absorption even more. The slow-release fiber comes from whole foods. Think chia seeds mixed into yogurt or a half cup of dark, colorful berries, raspberries, blueberries, which are low in sugar but high in protective antioxidants. This new breakfast, protein, fat, and fiber, is a fortress around your brain. It tells your body, we are stable, we have control. You will notice the difference immediately. That mid-morning slump disappears. The search for the right word becomes easier. This is not magic. This is biochemistry. You are giving your brain the stability it demands. By making this single change, eliminating the common refined grain breakfast before noon, you're taking the biggest single step towards stopping memory loss and reclaiming your focus. The energy you feel from controlling your morning metabolism is life-changing. You gain confidence. You gain back precious time you used to waste battling the fog. But simply mastering the morning is not enough to truly shield your memory long-term. We often make a second crucial mistake in the evening, a mistake that negates all the work we do in the morning. This evening habit, often meant to relax us, is spiking our blood sugar just before bed, disrupting our sleep, and hindering the brain's ability to clean itself overnight. In the next part, we will expose the simple evening habit that is silently sabotaging your sleep and accelerating memory decline, and show you the simple swap that can change everything tonight.